Good morning, my warrior friends. All you professional truck drivers out there tearing up the highway, trying to take care of your families, delivering all the stuff this great nation needs. I appreciate you, my family appreciates you, and I thank you for the hard work that you guys all do every day. The fact that you put an emphasis on safety. You know, that you're out there to protect the motoring public, and you're out there to take care of your customers' goods and make sure they make it from point A to point B flawlessly. That's what professionals do, and that's what my people are, professionals. So again, good morning to all you guys. 2 days. And if you notice, the topic of the conversation this morning was not just 10-4, but ask yourself this question, every one of you, and I'm going to go through a couple things I think are important. 10-4 is a platform and a stage for us to catapult some of the issues we're dealing with and really start being serious about them as a united front. And the question is, what have you done today to make trucking better for tomorrow? What have you done? Not worry about what somebody else has done. What have you done today to make trucking better for tomorrow? Do you bitch about the trash laying all over the truck stops, or do you make an effort to clean it up? Do you complain about the rookie that's having a hard time backing in, or do you walk over and try to give him a hand? Do you look at government regulation and say, man, that sucks, that's awful, we don't have any rights, they're out to get us? Or have you lobbied your congressmen or your senators or got involved in the arguments that happen in the state? You see, because we live in a society, in a country right now, where the current Congress, our current representatives, do not care about the individual's needs, rights. They don't care. I hope you understand that. And trucking is the very last thing that they're concerned about. They'd rather spend frivolous amounts of time and money chasing things that don't exist. You're about this important to them. If you can get in between my fingers, that's about how important you are. So you have to let them know your displeasure. You have to speak up. You got to stand up, speak out, or you got to accept what comes. That's the reality of it. We all run around complaining about things. We complain about how we're treated by the DOT. We complain about the FMCSA. We complain about the truck stop trash. We complain about the condition of the parking lots. We complain because guys race through the parking lots. We complain about the guys that ride in the left lane for 5 miles. We complain about everything. But how many of you have actually taken action to solve a single problem? You complain about truck parking. You know, I can go on and on with examples, and I can go on and show you examples where this industry has done very little to solve its own problems. You keep asking those questions, but I'm asking you, what have you done today to make trucking better for tomorrow? Do you shake a man's hand when he's coming out the door of the truck stop? Do you hold the door open for another man that just looks like he's having a bad day? Are you there participating in the conversations that are happening right now this week? I mean, what have you done today to make trucking better for tomorrow? Because the politicians aren't going to do anything, folks. You know, we can scream and we can jump up and down. We've got to be stronger. We've got to be louder. We've got to be committed to making sure our voices are heard. That's why 10-4 on DC and all these events that are happening all over. I know that Charles Bundy is working on something in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys call Charles, FaceTime Charles, message Charles, whatever. But I know that he's got commitment from a couple dozen guys to do something in Nashville, Tennessee. Don't know how it's going to work out, but Charles, messaged me a little while ago, and he is working on Nashville, Tennessee. So you can add Nashville, Tennessee, and talk to Charles about what his intentions are. Right, Todd. You're like me. You said several times you came to the fight a little late, but I tell you, for all our differences aside, politically, and for all the stuff that we've had to go through, I admire the fact that you're as solid and you're steadfast as you are with 10-4 and the other things. So it's taken a while, but you've earned my respect, and I hope we can continue to have that dialogue. But many of you that have come along to the fight, you're trying really hard, and Todd's right. We really haven't done enough. For 16 years, I haven't done enough, okay? I've been at this advocacy stuff for 16 years, and I don't think I've done enough. You know why? Because I was involved in Jason's Law. I was good friends with Hope and Butch, her dad. I was there when that tragedy occurred with Jason Rivenberg, and all these politicians promised us we were going to have safe parking and Jason's Law and public-private partnerships, and we don't have any more parking or any more safe parking than we did in 2011 when they started taking away all the parking, folks. So Did we fight hard enough? No, because I can tell you right now, there weren't enough people supporting Hope Rivenburg, and there weren't enough people supporting groups like mine and Truckers and Citizens United when we decided to make a stand against them taking the parking. Okay? There weren't enough. See, at that time, the word advocacy and standing up really weren't that important because it wasn't affecting everybody. So nobody found the ambition. But now, what do we have? We have drivers that have entered the industry and people that are now getting older who want a safe place to park. There's no place to park, and they're like, oh my God, there's no place to park. We're running out of hours. You know, if we had solved the parking problem before, it wouldn't have mattered what happened with this ELD bullshit, because we would have had parking, because we would have made sure it happened. But we didn't. We dropped the ball on it. Okay? That's why 3781, everyone says it doesn't stand a chance, right? They'll find a way. Because look what they tried to do with the meal and rest break rule and all the other things. They tried to slip it in through other bills. Nothing is ever dead until you actually witness it dead. Okay? Watch it die. Make sure it's dead. 3781, the Underride Act, the Speed Limiter Act, all these things require you guys having a voice. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a voice. You have to find a way to communicate your frustration, because you can't all be happy with every single thing in this industry. Now, we're talking about rules and regulations, okay? We're talking about the constant bombardment of regulations that you guys have to follow. You've got to have a voice, man. Whether it's on the current hours of service proposals, whether it's all this other stuff, you can do that. But at some point, when you've exhausted all the talk and you've exhausted everything else, you've got to be prepared moving forward in any movement to say, this is where we're at right now. The goalpost is to create a conversation and get the public and the politicians listening to what we're saying. That's the goal, right? If they don't do that, then what? So every time you advance the goalpost, you've got to remember, as a professional, as an American, as an everyday citizen, your tolerance can only go so far. Me, like I said, I hope people understand my dysfunction, okay, and my pessimism is that it's never been with the industry. It's been with the fact that the industry gets to a certain point and they throw their hands up and they give up because they let the politicians win. You can't let these people win. You've got to stay in their face, and you've got to understand what we've committed to with 10-4 is just that. Being there, holding them accountable, educating them, telling them our problems, and saying, okay, now they'll never, ever, ever, ever again be able to say they didn't know. They'll never, ever, ever again be able to say that you didn't voice your concerns. So you get rid of those two things, now the burden is on our elected representatives to do what they need to do, because you've done everything. So very quickly, Underride Guard is every state's transportation committee to be. Yes, it is. Absolutely, Todd. And, I hope that you guys are going to, try to keep working on the Underride thing, because I believe the current one that they want, the current design prototype they want to use is for 35 miles an hour. And then after they upgrade that to a higher speed guard, they're going to want everybody to change from the 35 mile an hour guard to the higher rated one. So it's whatever, it's ridiculous. Everything they do costs money to this industry. The ELD mandate was unfunded. The Underride Act's going to be unfunded. All these things are unfunded mandates that they forced upon the industry. Period. End of story. So here's what we got, man. 10-4, the platform, the very beginning, Washington, D.C., on the National Mall. They're meeting in Fredericksburg, Virginia. You guys need information, just PM Todd Campbell, Fred Bowerman, Brian Hutchins, Alan Kelly, okay? They'll tell you everything you need to know, and I'm sure Todd will post in here the 10-4 NDC website so you can pre-register or whatever you need to do if you're going to go down there. I know that I've heard from Chad Coiler and a couple other people that want to come down to DC, Todd. I've had messages, guys wanting to know more information, so just post the link or whatever it is, because I can't remember if it's 10-4 on DC or 10-4 DC. I got too much on my mind. Then you've got Kentucky, Frankfort, Kentucky, Shelley Conaway, Jim Bardsley, Frankfort, Kentucky. Find KDA on the Facebook. You can find information. Contact Jim Bardsley or Shelley Conaway. So that's Kentucky. Then you got Indianapolis. I will be in Indianapolis. Finally got everything worked out last night. I will be in Indianapolis with Will Cook, and we're going to be at the state capitol, Indianapolis. You need information, you can contact me, myself, or Will Cook. even Catherine Effrick, Paul Massett, just about 1 million people you can contact on the Indianapolis event. Then you've got Michigan. You've got Mark Ennefield and Passenger. So Michigan, and they've put up their flyer, and I believe I even included the phone numbers on the corrected one. All right, so Jim Bardsley's doing it. All right. They included the phone numbers to contact them on the Michigan 10-4 event. They're meeting with the lieutenant governor and some other policymakers in Michigan. Then you also got California. Edward Escobar and Justin Atkinson are out there in California. They're going to be doing something. Mississippi is the Ridgetop. Daniel Doris, Greg Anderson. Just these things are all out there, guys. But Mississippi, Kentucky, Indianapolis, the big one, South Dakota. Disrespected Trucker is hosting one in South Dakota. They're starting theirs tomorrow, making a almost 200-mile trek to their state capital, stopping along the way, educating people, doing the things they're doing. So go to Disrespected Trucker. As you guys know, I'm a big supporter in that new group. I believe they're taking the right approach, and I'm proud to be part of it. So Disrespected Trucker on Facebook, South Dakota Slow Roll, 200-mile slow roll, making stops along the way, going to their state capital. I know their information is good because I've worked very closely with Sean and with Jeremy and Tony. They've got great speeches, great information. They're going to have I think they're going to do very well down there. Then now you have Nashville, Tennessee. So get a hold of Charles. Charles is going to be doing something in Nashville, Tennessee. So they've invited a couple of people to come, speak, and be able to talk to. So Charles Brundy, you guys know him. He's on Facebook. I'm sure he's in here somewhere. But now Nashville's added to the list. Still haven't heard from those guys in Georgia, and I'm not going to talk about something that hasn't transpired or they don't have a definite because we're 2 days away. So you got Michigan, Indianapolis, Washington D.C., South Dakota, Kentucky, Nashville. And Mississippi. So there's plenty of things going on. Get out there. Again, what have you done today to make trucking better for tomorrow? Do people understand how these autonomous trucks are going to affect jobs? There's an upside to these things. There's a downside to these things. And the biggest thing is there's going to be some people unemployed when this stuff takes shape in the next decade. Okay? So like Will said yesterday, when these jobs disappear, each one of us is going to have to fight harder for our job and for a better job because you're going to have thousands of people fighting for jobs. You don't just walk away from driving a truck. It's like the mafia. You know too much. You're in too deep. People don't leave driving a truck because those of us that drive a truck drive it because A, it's a fairly decent income. B, we love what we do, okay? So I tell you what, if I lose my job to autonomous truck, I'm coming for your job or whatever job. I'm gonna find a job, right? That's the mentality that's gonna happen because it's a dog-eat-dog world. So just keep that in mind. These autonomous trucks pose risks to the general public and to our industry and to our economic safety and stability in this country. They really do. You can't replace a $70,000 a year job with a $39,000 a year job and think that things are going to be the same because they are not going to be the same. It's going to be detrimental to the economy. I wish people would understand that. For years, farm labor has been a big thing. Farmers said they couldn't find help, but the help that they could find, there's thousands of jobs in driving these tractors during harvest time, all these other things. Now they have autonomous tractors. I posted that video for you guys to watch. We have autonomous tractors here in Mississippi harvesting the soybeans and stuff, okay? So farm labor is going to be affected. Construction labor is going to be affected. Transportation labor is going to be affected. There are so many things that are detrimental to this industry that are happening. Legislation, autonomous trucks. I mean, guys, come on. What have you done today to make trucking better for tomorrow? Find your voice. Go to D.C. if you can be in D.C. Go to Indianapolis. Go to Kentucky. Go to Michigan. Go to Nashville. Go somewhere, be somewhere. And again, like I said, if you can't, guys, when you take your half-hour break or you got a free minute, just take a picture and give it a thumbs up and say, I support my brothers and sisters that are out there trying to talk about the things that are wrong in this industry. We're trying, okay? Even I am willing to say I will give this one last try with the persuasiveness, with the having a good conversation with these people. Maybe all this new blood will make a difference. Either way, the new blood that's come aboard over the last 3 years, our numbers have grown dramatically in defense of our industry and in defense of our jobs, our very way of life. Those numbers will continue to grow. Then we'll be able to have a conversation about what do we do next. It's too premature to even have a discussion like that because a new conversation has opened up. The FMCSA, the ATA, all these other people are going to continue to do what they do until you force them to recognize you as a stakeholder. You, the individual driver, you, the guy that needs to make the decisions, are a stakeholder. I mean, where did this word stakeholder come from? Because they have millions of more dollars than you, you're not a stakeholder, you're just an industry standard? No, we're all stakeholders in this industry. Let's get that clear. You're a stakeholder, I'm a stakeholder, because everything that happens out there affects each one of us. It affects everybody in a different way for different reasons, but we're all affected by the decisions that are made. The decisions I make out on the road, the decisions you make, the decisions the FMCSA makes, we're all stakeholders. So that's what they need to get clear in their head. How can a room of people meet to discuss industry issues, to discuss policy in the transportation industry, but they don't do your job? How can they logically, with keeping a straight face, sit in a room like they did yesterday? You had two people there that knew anything about trucking. Todd Spencer and Danny, okay? Two people in a forum of 30 that are making policy decisions and regulations about our industry, and they've never driven a truck. Never. And you have to stop allowing this type of behavior. You have to start making these politicians accountable. You have to start making your individual liberties and your rights first and foremost. Stop allowing them to trample on you as an individual. So I say, find your voice, find a place to go, or at the minimum, support them, because nothing that they're doing is wrong. They're exercising their rights by speaking out. That's what all of us are doing. That's the first step in change. Being able to admit there's a problem. We all know there's a problem. Do we agree on exactly how to solve those problems? No. But at least now, like the 12-step program, truckers have figured out there's a problem. Admit there's a problem. We've already settled some of the other things. Now, we've made amends as an industry. I'm optimistic more than I'm pessimistic at this point, and I'm hopeful. So, preaching to the choir, I know, Marty, but here's the thing. Nothing's going to change if you don't try to change it. Nothing. You can't continue to blame people for the trash in the parking lots, for the people that aren't properly trained, for the deaths on the highway, for the loss of your rights. You can't continue to complain about it and do nothing about it, because it's never going to change. It's never going to get better if you continue to sit on your ass in your Bostrom Wide Glide, grabbing the CB, complaining about everything, instead of actually going out and doing something about it. You have to participate in the conversation. You're not going to change anything unless you at least make an effort. And I believe there's enough people out there that want to do this and try hard to protect it, to change it, to make it not what it once was. Trucking will never be what it once was. There are aspects that we can bring back. We can bring back the communication. We can bring back the camaraderie. We can bring back the respect. But trucking will never be what it used to be. It's never going to be. Some of you are never going to have the opportunity to enjoy it the way people like myself, Todd, Greg, Joe Denny, Will Cook, and many, Marty, all you guys, Sean. Some of you are never going to be able to experience trucking the way it used to be. And that breaks my heart. It does. Because it was fun. We had cookouts. We gathered at the truck stops when we were down waiting on it to deliver on a Monday morning. We fellowshipped. We talked. We used to sit at the counters and tell lies and tell stories and tell jokes. The industry will never be what it was. We can make it resemble what it was. Like I said, respect, communication, and just bring back a little bit of the camaraderie. That's all we can hope to change, because we will never see the days that we saw before. They're gone. And the dinosaurs like me and the others, we'd be happy if we could just have those three things back, and we could have a little common sense happen in Washington, D.C. and in our states. I'd be happy with that. Paper, not plastic. Exactly, Daniel. It was the biggest mistake they ever made. But again, the challenges on the ELD mandate aren't over. They're not over. They're gonna make their stand. They've made it clear, and it's not truck drivers. It's groups of truck drivers and organizations that are finding ways around. You know, people like me doing what the things that I'm doing. They're gonna find a way. So, guys, 10-4 is a stepping stone. 2 days away. Again, South Dakota, Sean McIntosh, Jeremy at the Disrespected Trucker. Him and Tony, those guys and Tony. Washington, D.C., parking on the National Mall. Going out, talking to the public, hoping to have meetings with their elected representatives and delivering. And I believe the FMCSA is going to have Joe DiLorenzo there for people to talk to. So there's a lot of things going on in D.C., a lot of things. South Dakota, D.C., Indianapolis, I am going to be there with Will. We've already got the press releases out. All the information has been prepared. The media has been invited. And we're going to do what we do regardless. Same with Kentucky. Same with Michigan. Same with Mississippi. The same with now Nashville. So get a hold of Charles. If you guys are going to be in Tennessee, especially if you're going to be laid over and you're going to be down there at the TA in Nashville or the Loves or whatever, find out. Call Charles, man. Find out what he's got going on and participate in what he's doing. You know, he's got at least 20 to 25 people right now that have said they would be there. So, you know, you can't count on everybody. Things happen. So if you can give him a little support and you can be there, reach out to him, find out what he's going on and what he's got going on. So Nashville, Tennessee, you know, it's growing. Probably the limit of what we're going to see is what we have right now. And we're gonna hope that going forward we can continue the momentum. So keep the faith, truck it up, do what you got to do, and remember, if you don't stand up and speak out, you have to accept what comes. Good, bad. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know where this industry's headed, but I can tell you from what I see, it's not headed someplace that I want to be. It just really isn't. The country's not headed in a direction that I'm comfortable with. There's just so much going on that your voices, every time we mount a defense, there's something out there that drowns us out. We have to be louder. It doesn't mean we have to be disrespectful, but we have to be louder. You've got to raise your voice in discontent. You don't speak out to offend, but to defend. The tone of your voice only means one thing. You're trying to relay how you feel. Your passion, your words, your energy. You can raise your voice and still be respectful. When you raise your voice, it means you want to be heard. That is the difference. Raising your voice to defend, not to offend. That is what this industry is trying to do at this moment over the next 4 or 5 days. So reach out to Alan Kelly, Todd Campbell, and those guys, Washington, D.C. That is the platform. They are going to be our voice and our presence in the nation's capital while the rest of us are out here beating the drum and doing the things that we have to do. You guys, I can't stress this enough. I want you to at least sit back in the seat today and think about that. Because I know it's easy to think about how many people will actually do something. Ask yourself, what have I done today to make trucking better for tomorrow? What have I done? Before I complain again, what have I done? And understand, if you choose to do nothing, if you don't stand up, if you don't speak out, you then have to accept the consequences of what comes. It's pretty simple. It's not. I've heard Todd say this before. It's not rocket science, okay? It's pretty simple. You stand up, you tell someone how you feel about the issue, you offer your suggestion or your idea on how it can become better, rather than say, Man, why are you always driving 500 miles an hour through the parking lot? Why is there garbage everywhere, all over the parking lot? Why do these guys don't know how to back up? Why these guys don't... Be a solution. So what have you done today to make trucking better for tomorrow? I will see you guys one more time tomorrow morning before I leave for Indianapolis with my son-in-law. My son-in-law are leaving together to head to Indianapolis to be with my brother Will. And I'll give you one last update because maybe something else will come along. But in the meantime, 10-4 on America, 10-4 on DC. God bless each and every one of you. I hope you'll find a way, like I said, even if you post a picture on the Disrespected Trucker or on my wall saying that you support your fellow brothers and sisters, be it DC, wherever they are, let them know that you support them because they're doing it the way it needs to be done. Remember, leaders are emerging. People are being recognized. Voices are being heard. It's a time to participate. Everybody can get behind what these guys are saying. Everybody. Even me. Even as pessimistic as I once was, I'm optimistic with a lot of the new blood and the direction and the mending of fences and people sharing and working together. So check out Disrespected Trucker. Check out USDD. Check out Truckers for Liberty. Truckers for Liberty. And just do something. Do something. Like I said, whether it's the hours of service, it's truck parking, it's the current regulations that are being proposed, the ELD mandate, whatever it is, you've got to have an opinion. If I met a truck driver that didn't have a damn opinion, I would choke to death. I literally would choke to death. You all have opinions. Just some of you say things silently. You don't say them out loud. So say them out loud. Demand your rights. Demand your liberties. Stand up for your industry. Make them hear you. Start to move this ball further down the field. I'm proud of all of you, man. I really am. And I'm thankful for people like Todd Campbell and Greg Anderson and Alan Kelly and all of you that are out there. You've all done your part. Now it's time to figure out how we move this ball down the field together. Because we can't have 2 or 3 of the strongest people in the industry not being part of what's happening. Some of you need to make your stand. Whichever way you choose to do it, you need to do it. Guys, have a great morning. Remember, Truckers for Liberty, Disrespected Truckers on Facebook. Come, join, speak. And you guys know, all of you know, you can reach me anytime you've got an issue or a problem, but I want to explain something to you guys very clearly. My stance on the Green Book is the constitutional authority in which the Green Book exists. You want to understand the rules that are in that Green Book, you need to talk to Leland Schmidt, okay? Leland has studied the book. He knows the book. Leland Schmidt can tell you what their thought process is on the Green Book. I challenge the Green Book for what it is. I compare the rules that are in the Green Book to the constitutionality of what's real and what's real, okay? Face it, what's real is real. They don't have the authority. That book doesn't have the authority to say the things it says, but if you want to understand their line of thinking, Leland Schmidt knows that book inside and out. You know, a lot of the stuff I've learned about the little Green Book, I learned from Leland. Hate to tell you that, but I did. My stance is simply this. The Green Book doesn't have the constitutional authority to stand on. They assume or claim to have that authority, okay? That's how they're getting away with it, because they claim they have the authority to do it. They don't. They claim they do. But if you want to know how to interpret something in that book, Leland Schmidt is the guy you need to reach out to. And the Schmidts are all over Facebook, so if you have a question, get a hold of them. I can only tell you how to take that rule and apply it constitutionally. That's how I can explain it. But there are rules, okay? There are traffic laws. There are certain things that are just necessary, because if we didn't have a few laws, we'd have chaos out on the highways. So if you want to understand the Green Book, start recognizing someone like Leland Schmidt for the man that he is. He's committed many, many years to trying to help this fight, and nobody understands that book better than he does. Period. End of story. I agree with him. He's been a friend a long time, but he's an expert on the Green Book. I'm an expert on how that Green Book has no authority. Leland is the man you need to talk to. So like I said, you need to give credit where credit is due. You need to give credit to the people that actually have worked tirelessly to make things a reality. You know, you need to understand there are new people, but don't forget the people that were always here that have gotten us to this point, even those you may not agree with. Had not been for those people, some of you wouldn't be in this fight today. You know it, and I know you recognize it. If it hadn't been for these people, you know, like I said, the Scott Jordans, the Scott Reeds, the Alan Kellys, the Mike Ferrums, all these people along the way. You may not have agreed with what they've done, but they have got us to the point where we've all come together this very moment. Period. So, you guys have a great day. If you can be in D.C., be there. Those of you that are headed to D.C., safe travels. Those of you that are headed to Indianapolis, I will see you there. Those of you headed to, that are going to be anywhere near South Dakota, you're going to be anywhere near there, and you're going to be traveling those interstates. Watch for Sean and those guys. You know, fall in where you can. Show them some support. Show them some love. Flash your lights. Blow your horns. Whatever you can do to let them know you support them. Even if you can't be with them in that convoy, let them know. They've got a long, lonely ride, and they need the support to deliver their message. So stand with them. Go to the Disrespected Trucker, guys. I can't tell you enough. Truckers for Liberty, Disrespected Truckers, USDD, USTA, all of these guys are engaged in what's happening. So support them. I love to stop and read the messages. Like I'm telling you, the camaraderie, the unity, and the communication that's happening the last couple weeks is amazing. Keep it up. Keep going forward. Don't let them back you down. Again, guys, remember, take time to breathe. Those of you that are going or participating, take time to breathe, unwind, and relax. The stress will burn you out. Some of you are about to experience something you've never experienced before. Don't be dissuaded. Don't be disappointed. Do your part. Because remember, the question is, what have you done? Don't worry what everybody else has done. Do what you're going to do. Stand up on your own 2 feet. And when it's over, you'll at least be able to say, you did your part. You'll know that you did your part. So whether you're in Kentucky, Michigan, or anywhere else, do not be dissuaded. Do not be disappointed, because not everybody's there yet. But if you keep leading by example, you keep being professional, you keep speaking to people with respect, you keep acting like professionals, others will follow. Others will come. They'll look at you and they'll say, wait a minute, there's something wrong. And they'll start to listen. But you can't talk to people in a disrespectful tone and think that you're going to get a result. Keep moving the ball forward. Keep doing what you're doing. Every little thing helps. You're absolutely right, Mitch. Share these videos. Tune in when these guys go live. Help them share their message. Guys, you got to get these videos farther than you're getting them. I realize I get a lot of views, but that's because I know more people. I've been doing this longer. You know, I can get 2,000 views. But these other people have a right to be heard. They have a voice. But if you don't share my videos, you don't share their videos, how are you going to get it outside of there? You should be sharing these videos every single place you get a chance. You can't talk about 3781 and hope that the public will understand or that your fellow drivers will understand unless you share them beyond your comfort zone. Go beyond that. Share it, share it, share it. Share it places you wouldn't think that you should share it. Share it anyway. Share these videos. I don't care who makes them. If they're talking about freedom, liberty, and protecting this industry, standing up for this industry and exercising their God-given rights, share it. Especially if it's in a respectful tone and their message makes sense. Share it. Reach out. Help each other. I got to go. I got a lot of things I got to get done this morning to get ready to leave tomorrow. Respect, camaraderie are important going forward. Like I said, I'm optimistic and I'm not pessimistic. So let's keep moving the ball down the field and hope that we can get some momentum out of what's about to happen. Going to be a lot of live videos going on from Thursday to Friday night. Try to follow what you can follow, share what you can share, but there's a lot going on, and we need to get that message out there to the world. So you guys have a great day. Again, I appreciate your sacrifice. I appreciate you that are out there doing the things that you do. So does my family. So do my friends. So do my loved ones. My entire family is a very large family, and they appreciate you professional drivers. Believe me. My mom, my dad, my aunts, my uncles, all of them, everybody in my family appreciates what you do, especially me and my family. So keep your heads held high. It's a struggle out there. I know it's a battle. I know we all face different issues, but together we can do this. So ask somebody today, just one random person that you hear bitching about trucking. Just look them right in the eye and ask them, what have you done? What did you do today to make trucking better for tomorrow? What did you do to correct that thing that you're complaining about? Or what will you do? What have you done to make trucking better? And the answer is not nearly enough. None of us have. So have a great day. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you in Indy. I'm watching for them videos out of DC and everywhere else. Keep up the fight, man. That's all I can say. I'll talk to you later, guys.